Now for more. We welcome Ilan Dalal, father of Guy Dalal, one of the hostages held captive by Hamas terrorists for 122 days inside Gaza. He joins us from Alfei Menashe in the West Bank. Thank you so much for speaking to us once again. It's nearly 4 months since that Hamas terror attack, and just over 24 hours since Hamas was expected to respond to that proposal for the latest hostage release deal. I cannot imagine what it's like for families. Your thoughts on the latest efforts?
It is not surprising that Hamas is not giving us his answer, because this is his way. He just wants to torture us. First, he said he will give us an answer on Thursday night, and then he said it's Sunday at 7 o'clock, and now he's holding it back. I think the Israeli government should respond to that and just say to Hamas that this is our terms. Unless you want to talk to us with our terms, we continue fighting. We continue fighting with more power until you agree. This should be the message that the Israeli government should bring to Hamas, and not wait for them to give us answer. It's a shame. It's not right.
Talking of the Israeli response, the messaging just a short while ago out of Yoav Gallant was that the IDF would continue with the pressure in its ground operation because it's going to also create conditions to bring back all the hostages. What do you make of that strategy? What are your thoughts?
I totally agree with that. We saw that the only military force was the thing that brought us to the first deal. Now the military has some achievements in the field. I think that Hamas is very close to break down, and giving them now this achievement will be a mistake. I think instead of making a deal of releasing 35 hostages and give them 2 months or 6 weeks of ceasefire, will harm us eventually, because the rest of the hostages will remain in the tunnels for at least 2 more months until this deal will end. And this is not good for us. I not agree with this. I think if the IDF will increase the pressure on Hamas and bring in some more force, military force, that will pressure Hamas more, then in the next few weeks we will have the ability to achieve much better deal.
As you say, this deal,
is my opinion.
And this deal, as you say, if it is eventually secured, is said to involve the release of women and elderly first, and then later on the men, and then soldiers and bodies of those who have been killed. Are the families being updated at all about the details in the agreement and the efforts to get all the hostages home? What are you learning?
Of course, that the negotiations are taking place behind scenes, so we are not aware of all the details. Naturally, things are kept in secret, so we are only told on the big frame what is going to be, not in the specifics.
And obviously time is of the essence. More and more details are emerging about the conditions in captivity inside Gaza. We know today that Israel's foreign minister asked his French counterpart about this verification around the medications that were supposed to get to the hostages following that apparent breakthrough last month with Qatar and France. Any update in terms of some kind of confirmation or verification at all about any medicines getting to any hostages? What are you learning?
Well, as expected, Hamas is not giving any information, not about the condition of the hostages, and not about the medicine that they should deliver. We get messages that we will get sometimes an evidence that they got the medicines, but since now we get nothing, and this is not surprising either because this is Hamas, and Hamas is not a kind of organization that keeping his words.
There's no doubt about that, and we're seeing that particularly even in the last 24 hours, still waiting for some kind of response to that latest effort. In terms of the international pressure, it's nearly 4 months. It's just unimaginable. What is your understanding or your feeling about attempts from abroad to pressurize Qatar, to pressurize Hamas in turn, to respond here, to make a difference, to try and do something to get all the hostages home? What is your understanding?
There is some kind of pressure. I don't think it's enough. I think the international community and United States especially can do more, can pressure more on Hamas, on Qatar to pressure Hamas. They don't do enough. I think they can do much more.
Well, we certainly are waiting to see what comes out of the latest set of meetings. We've spoken before on this channel. You told us a little bit about your son, that he's charming and magnetic, and he was teaching himself Japanese. Tell us more about your son. Tell us more about this man, Guy.
Okay, Guy is a wonderful young man, is so kind. He likes to laugh and make other people laugh. He's a musician. He played all kinds of guitars. He liked the Japanese culture, as you mentioned. He learned Japanese. He is speaking and writing Japanese right now along with his friends. They planned a big trip to Japan on March, where the cherry blooms, and I still hope they will be able to make it.